Hey, folks, welcome back to Tommy Highway TV Live, home of the Common Sense Network. I, as always, am your host, Tommy Highway. With me, as always, I have my main man, my right arm, the man, the myth, the legend. We're talking about Tim from UFO Man Channel. Tim, say hello, sir.
Where's that coming from?
Me. Hang on. Here we go. We're all out. All right. So we're good. You still hearing it?
Yeah. No.
Okay, cool.
Good. We're good. I don't know what
say
that
hello.
Was.
I think it was me trying to pop the chat into the background. That's probably my fault. Anyway, you like say hello to the people there, Tim, buddy?
Hello, everyone.
All right. So we're here today, or tonight rather. We decided to get together and talk about the coronavirus hysteria, the things that are happening in the United States of America that, if you think about it, has never happened. It is unprecedented, actually, in most of our lifetimes. And you have to understand, you're talking to a guy that has literally been through 5 hurricanes, 5 of them, okay? So I've seen it when there's a run on supermarkets and things like that. And I've seen the kinds of things that usually go. And it usually is paper goods, and it's usually things like, bottled water. But everything else, you can pretty much get your hands on. At this point, when you walk into a Walmart, it's completely almost picked clean. It's ridiculous. I mean, you see these rednecks walking around with 2 shopping carts full of toilet paper. I mean, he's got more toilet paper in his shopping cart than I'm ever going to need for the rest of my life.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
It's mass hysteria brought on by the media, because people will buy what's fed to them as long as they're getting fed by someone that they think is taller than they are. Okay. Or one of their betters or whatever, politicians, media personalities, things of that nature. It's a goddamn joke is what it is.
People are panic buying.
Yes.
And they believe, oh my gosh, if the trucks stop delivering toilet paper, what am I going to do? So I got to go out and buy all the toilet paper there is. In fact, I've got 3 or 4 rolls here for sale if you want them. But anyways, what I'm going to say is yeah, here too. Anyways, what we're trying to say is we're just trying to make light of the toilet paper frenzy, because it is madness.
Yes.
Sheer madness. I mean, you don't need 48 cases of toilet paper like that lady in Australia that, well, I know she bought them by accident, but still 48 cases. I don't think I've used that many in my entire lifetime.
But at the moment, she may actually be the richest person that any of us know.
Yeah, that's true. She might be. She might be. That's true. And I'm not going to make light of that. I mean, blank happens.
Here's the thing about this whole frenzied buy thing that we've got going on right now. First of all, I'm embarrassed as an American, because we are the land of plenty here. And it's not like the toilet paper factory isn't somewhere right now, a bunch of them probably working 125, 150% capacity, okay, at this point. It's not like the Del Monte, canning plants. It's not like they've gone down. Those workers haven't walked away. They're actually making more product, more canned peas, and more friggin' fruit cocktail, okay? They're making as much as they can possibly make, and it's on a store. It will be delivered to a store close to you very soon. So what have we done here? What we've done here is we've proven, and I mean, I guess the way I see it is like these guys in Costco that are literally buying, let's say 400 rolls of toilet paper. They're just being selfish. They're just screwing everybody else behind them that might need an 8-pack of shit paper. I'm sorry, but I mean, that's just, it's un-American.
What about people in nursing homes and, say, assisted living facilities that can't get out, that need the same products? They can't get them.
Right, because
they're gone, they're sold out because of people buying 48 cases. I mean, come on. There's such a thing known as glut. Gluttony, and that's what that is.
Thank you.
That's spurred on by media hype. Now, we all know that the coronavirus is a legitimate thing. And yes, there are people getting sick from it. And yes, there have been deaths. But the deaths are not what the media is making it out to seem to be.
Well,
maybe it will in the future. Hopefully not. And I'm hoping that is not the case, that we do not have massive deaths from the coronavirus. I'm saying that publicly. But what I'm going to say to you is this: look at it with a realistic mind and don't go crazy.
Don't buy into the panic. Don't be one of the scared animals. I mean, let's put the whole coronavirus thing into perspective, at least at this point. Let's go back, and I've said this on another video or stream, but let's go back to 2009, 2010. In like a 10-month period, 10 months, the N1H1 virus, the last swine flu back in between 2009 and 2010, like in 10 months, it killed 12,469 Americans. Okay? Now, the thing about it was, it just wasn't just killing the old or the people with compromised immune systems. It was killing the young. I mean, put it this way: if you got that in you, if you got a piece of that, you had about a 30 to 35% chance of actually dying from it. Okay,
Your odds weren't good.
Right, exactly, and that's if you were new and healthy as could be, and all of that. So right now, 12,469 people, and we've got how many dead in the United States after a couple of months of this? Now we're talking a matter of, I think it's 60. I think.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like I think it's under 60 at least at the time of this taping, like 57.
And we're not making light of those deaths.
No, of course not.
But what we're saying is the stats do not measure up to the media hype.
Right. You have to put this into perspective in terms of afflictions that we've seen in the past, in the recent past. Again, the last swine flu. I mean, that thing was killing people all over the place. Now, during that time, did we freak out? Did we go on power buys? Did we actually destroy our supply chain? Okay. Did we do all that? Of course not. And at the time, I worked for the government back in the day. And I remember there was an email came out, hey, this is out there. Make sure you wash your hands. And that was it. That was the end of it. There was no mass hysteria. There was no hype. Obama was in office and the media was like, everything's fine.
I went to our local Walmart this past Friday, and all the paper goods shelves were empty in a box store. You know, Walmart's that huge box store. And I also looked in the pharmacy department for ibuprofen. And ibuprofen generic was completely wiped off the shelves. And I asked the pharmacy, I said, pharmacy, do you have any ibuprofen? She said, no, we won't have any for probably a month, because we were wiped out. Mm-hmm. People are panic shopping.
Yes.
Now, if you feel more comfortable by panic shopping, then go do what you need to do. But what we're trying to recommend is that you breathe and calm down.
Thank you.
Because it is not necessary for you to panic. We've got people out there working on a virus vaccine. We got people working on trying to prevent the spread of the virus. We've got people working in areas of trust that can help you. And they make it known through the media, believe it or not. So all I can say to you is calm down. Don't listen to the
Joy Behar's out there.
We got $300 toilet paper here for you if you want it, because I'll sell it to you for $300. There's 3 really quality rolls here, Charmin, nice and soft, $100 a roll. Don't listen to charlatans like that. You don't need to. Mm-hmm. You really don't.
Well, I mean, the Joy Behars on The View and all that, they're telling you not to believe the president and blah, blah, blah. But then again, is there anything that the president could do right at this point in the eyes of the left? Is there a single move that man could make that would be considered the right move? I mean, John Kasich, former governor of Ohio, my old stomping ground, he came out on CNN with that Don Lemon, the guy that sexually harassed another man that shouldn't have a job right now. That Don Lemon, he came up on the show with him, and Kasich said that he thought that Trump's speech was fine, and he's doing what he can do and all that. And Don Lemon attacked him, absolutely attacked the man, because, Trump is doing this. See, let's go back to right when this whole thing started back at the end of January. We first started hearing about this virus. What did President Trump do? He immediately sealed, he started restricting travel to China. Now, what happened? As soon as he did that, that the left, like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, and we do have the tweets. We do have the tweets.
Him out for doing that, for closing the border. They
calling
wanted
him a racist.
Yeah, they wanted to reopen the border.
Yeah, they called him just more of his racist tactics, and because he was trying to do his job and protect the American public. So then all of a sudden, then they flip flop around and say he's not doing enough. So the people out there that are listening to this horse shit, and they're actually, gobbling up what the Democrats are saying. I mean, I don't know what game you're watching, but my goodness. I mean, you have to understand a couple of things. We've got some problems in this country. And one of the problems is the fact that we've shipped nearly all of our drug manufacturing and our capabilities, at least mass scale capabilities, overseas, over to China, Vietnam, places like that. We've done that. Okay. We did it during the Bush administration. We really did it during the Obama administration. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it now.
Yeah. And it hasn't stopped. We're still doing that.
Canada, all over. Yeah.
I mean, and all of a sudden, the only thing that our laboratories in the United States have been concerned about for the last 30 goddamn years is drug testing. That's all they've been concerned about, is just that kind of crap. Right. They're not worried about major diseases. They're worried about who's smoking a goddamn joint behind the garage or whatever. Funny how we don't drug test. Oh yeah, but Congress says it's perfectly legal for these people to drug test us, but we don't drug test Congress. Now, here we go we got a black mayor, that the guy that was not black mayor, but gubernatorial candidate. What's his name in Florida? Just ran for he got beat by DeSantis in the last election for gubernatorial election in Florida. Just found him with a couple of gay guys and some meth in a hotel. Okay, a Democrat. Why isn't this plastered all over the news? Because he's a Democrat. They don't want to hear about it. But I didn't mean to get into that. But I'm just saying. I mean.
There's a double standard.
Oh God, it's blatant. Blatant.
Yes, it is. And all we're trying to do is have an equal shot at things.
Right.
A fair deal. And we're not getting it.
Nope. If you're on the left, you can do whatever you want to do, and the people on the left will overlook it.
You can't. And if you're in the middle and you don't know which way to go, the left says, "Oh, you got to come our way, because if you come our way, we'll help you. But if you go the other way, screw you."
Right. Yeah. You're
much the way it is.
You're the most awful, racist, vile human being on the earth if you're a Trump supporter in any conceivable way.
Well, if you're a Trump supporter, you're exactly what he is. And I've heard him called a misogynist. Mm-hmm. I've heard him called a racist. I've heard him called a two-faced liar. And I've heard him called, what else was it? A bigot.
Yeah.
So I've also been told that if we believe in Trump, then we are exactly like him. Well, I can tell you for sure that I'm not any of those.
Nope, me neither.
I am sitting on the fence, and I am leaning more to the right because the way the left is behaving.
Right.
The left is behaving so poorly that I'm ashamed of the Democratic Party.
Oh, goodness.
And I used to be one of them.
Yep, me too.
And I have to honestly say, I'm not anymore. I'm now an independent.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I'm going to stay there.
Yep. Yeah, the Democrat Party, for Nancy Pelosi to introduce federal funding in abortion, or abortion in any shape, form, or fashion, into the last bill, this coronavirus bill. Why would that old bag dare? This is a public safety issue, and she's talking about abortion. She wants to put abortion in that bill, and that's why it got rejected. I mean, are you kidding me? Even there's been some prominent Democrats call her out for that.
It's called flipping it under the rug, Tommy.
Right,
She's trying to slip it under the rug and get it passed that way because she knows it won't be passed the other way.
Right, but my point being is that she's doing this during a public health crisis.
Right, I know.
And these people can still support her after that. they can still vote for the Democrat Party after that? Are you fucking kidding me? It's a joke. It's ridiculous.
They're just sheeple.
No, I mean, it's the lemming thing. It's like I've always said. These are the kinds of people, they've got their head stuck straight up the ass of the lemming in front of them, and they refuse to look left or right for any other reason. They're just going to go ahead and follow that bastard right off the cliff, and that's what they're going to do. And forgive my language here, folks, but
yeah, that's the problem. I would like to see a duality in our government work, but I would have to say at least for the last 3 presidential administrations, it really has not.
I don't think it can be done with when you've got lifetime politicians in there that are in there decade after decade after decade.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And making themselves into millionaires on a public servant's salary. I'd like to know how they're doing that.
Right. $150,000, $175,000 a year. You're a multimillionaire in 2 years. How'd you do that?
Yeah, I'd like to know. Yeah. Because I'd like to do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I want a piece of that action.
I could afford more toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to do that.
Listen, all I can tell you, buddy, is hey, rich American.
Yeah. Anyways, you want me to bring up that clip on that woman that accidentally ordered 48 boxes?
Let's look at the throne. Absolutely.
Let's look at the throne of toilet paper.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. I gotta bring it up. Okay, share audio. Share. You got to bring it up.
Oh, sorry.
Before toilet paper started flying off the shelves as part of the coronavirus panic, Toowoomba resident Heidi Janetsky accidentally ordered 48 boxes of the product. When it was delivered to her home, she couldn't believe her eyes. But now she's sitting very comfortably on more than 2,000 rolls.
When it asked for quantity, I put 48, thinking that would be a box of 48.
$3,260 later, a courier arrived at their home with 2 pallets of toilet rolls.
Well, my husband answered the door and he called out to me and said, "Heidi, what have you done?"
They took to Facebook to share their disbelief.
It's going to take us 12 years.
And became the butt of a lot of toilet humour.
When it first happened, they all thought we were mad and stupid for making such a silly mistake.
But with the product now out of stock in many supermarkets.
Now we're like, well, now who's laughing?
The Janetsky into a fundraising opportunity, helping their daughter's school fund a grade 6 trip to Canberra.
We went, oh, yeah, we'll sell some toilet paper as a fundraiser. So we've marked it up just a little bit for our friends who are buying it off us.
And the demand for their product, well, you guessed it.
So we're selling a little bit more this week than we had previously.
So I'll be over 50 the next time we needed to order toilet paper.
The family of 6 is now well and truly set, ready to ride out coronavirus with a royal flush.
Outstanding.
Or do you think that box that said, "Who gives a crap"? Fights, toilet paper fights in Australia. Gotta see this one. Okay, here we go.
Don't treat her like that. Are you okay? It's a very bad paper. Shoot.
This is all over toilet paper.
Wow.
This is all over toilet paper. People have gone mad.
Are you joking? Are you joking? Just met my daughter. I didn't swear that. She hit me. I didn't touch you.
Look how much toilet paper that person has. I mean, how many times do you shit in a day? Come on.
One pack. No, not one pack. What's the limit? It's 5 minutes.
Guys, I need everyone to back off right now.
Stop.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Take it away from them.
Stop. You need to get off this trolley now. You need to get off this trolley now.
Look what you're doing. Why do you have a tissue? Think about what you're doing, yeah? You need to
I
stop,
dream.
right? There's a
I
limit
dream.
and there's people, yeah? It's unfair. You need to stop.
Call the police.
I'm calling the police.
Wow.
After the dunny rolls, mate.
They're calling the police on that.
It's not fair.
Which, you know, like that's like in America, we wouldn't naturally just resort to gunfire at that point. But
Right. And here is a last video. Supposedly the real reason why people are purchasing a bunch of toilet paper. And here we go.
Is disappearing around the globe, and nobody is taking it sitting down. The New York Post reported that it has triggered fistfights in supermarket aisles in Australia, where one family inadvertently contributed to the crisis by ordering 48 boxes of toilet paper instead of 48 rolls, roughly 12 years worth.
Now she's sitting very comfortably on more than 2,000 rolls.
Same people.
The BBC reported on an audacious armed robbery at dawn in Hong Kong. And in Japan, Sora News said that one shopkeeper decided the only way to protect his restroom from desperate toilet paper thieves was to draw up traditional curses to protect his stash of spare loo rolls. All over the world, news of the potentially widespread COVID-19 coronavirus infection has sent folks to supermarkets and drugstores looking to hoard essentials from face masks and hand sanitizer to non-perishable food items like canned goods, oat milk, ramen, and yes, toilet paper. Shoppers in different countries were driven by different reasons for buying out toilet paper. In China, folks who had no access to surgical masks went for toilet paper because, as Australian academic Nikita Garg said, there's a thinking that toilet paper can be substituted for tissues and napkins and to make makeshift masks. In Taiwan, toilet paper flew off the shelves because there were rumors that the island's paper stocks were being used to make surgical masks, which would subsequently affect toilet paper supplies. Authorities later had to deny that this was the case. In the case of countries like the United States, Canada, and Australia, panic buying and the need to hold on to as much toilet paper as one can carry is most likely driven by fear of the unknown, not by any proven or actual need for more toilet paper. Clinical psychologist Stephen Taylor explained to CNN, when people are told something dangerous is coming, but all you need to do is wash your hands, the action doesn't seem proportionate to the threat. Special danger needs special precautions. It doesn't help that news reports showing empty shelves urge people to believe that they're missing out if they don't go out and get more toilet paper right now.
There is an element of where you actually do get drawn into that, a psychology where you feel like you may miss out, a fear of missing out.
In Ireland, shoppers admitted to the Irish Times that all the panic buying was admittedly over the top, but they were doing it anyway. Researchers at INSEAD Singapore, where the city's toilet paper supplies were compromised early on in the crisis, said the panic buying there was also driven by an element of retail therapy. Except instead of spending money on the latest gadgets and fashion, folks bought useful items, as shopping for those things reinforced their sense of control over the crisis. People are also spurred by the idea that a community coronavirus outbreak could result in quarantine or a lockdown, which will impose restrictions on their freedom of movement. Psychologist Baruch Fishoff told CNN, unless people have seen official promises that everyone will be taken care of, they are left to guess at the probability of needing the extra toilet paper sooner rather than later. The fact that there are no official promises might increase those probabilities. More than anything else, there is a need to have a sense of control over a situation whose outcome no one can currently predict, and buying toilet paper could be one way of getting to grips with an unknown. Fishoff said, depending on how people estimate the chances of needing the toilet paper, the hassle might be worth it. If it gave them the feeling that they had done everything that they could, it might free them to think about other things than coronavirus. But for some folks who think the lockdown is imminent, the fact that they went all out to build their toilet paper stash was totally worth it. Frank Farley, former president of the American Psychological Association, told CNN, the novel coronavirus is engendering a sort of survivalist psychology, where we must live as much as possible at home and thus must stock up on essentials. And that certainly includes toilet paper. After all, if we run out of toilet paper, what do we replace it with? Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more list videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.
All I can say is, "Hey, little sister, what have you done? Hey, little sister."
I was
little
thinking,
Billy Idol.
wait a minute, there we lost Tommy. I was like, he turned into the mummy.
That's what happens, dude. I mean, when you're just this soaked in cash, I'm like Scrooge McDuck at this point. I just want to dive in and swim.
Oh, change the giveaway to 1 pack of toilet paper, 30 packs of ramen.
Yeah, I know, right?
I shouldn't I? Anyways, Alex or DB Cooper, great to see you in the chat. And
yes, sir.
Jax, good to see you too. And Nikki,
thanks,
welcome.
Hey, Nikki. We're all here talking about ways to keep our asses from getting crusty. And
well, unless you're watching SpongeBob SquarePants, then crusty's a good thing. But in regards to the idea tonight was to make light of the toilet paper frenzy, because people are just going crap crazy.
They are, and it's just crazy.
I mean, Alex over here in the chat says, "Bro, I'm ready to pay $140 for 120 packs of toilet paper." Well, yeah. Well, the problem is they would have to be like really, really, really small packages.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you this roll here with 120 inches for $140.
This right here is actually on the scratch and dent rack, and it's going to go for $25 American. Okay.
No, we're just kidding. Anyways, the coronavirus is nothing to laugh at. We are taking it seriously. What we're not taking seriously is the panic-driven purchasing of toilet paper. It's just nuts. And in regards to making a run on your grocery store, I mean, like Tommy said, production has not quit.
Nope.
If production had quit, you would know about it.
Right. The trucks are still running. I mean, people are not turning into zombies. You know, the sky is not raining blood. None of that's happening here. I mean, it's a simple fact that this is media-driven hysteria by the leftist media, and I'm sorry, but that's how I see that. Again, if everybody just went out and bought what they needed, for like a couple of weeks or whatever, we wouldn't be having this mass hysteria problem that we're having right now. But we've told the people out there, and it started with Australia, that for some reason there was going to be a toilet paper shortage. So people went out there and went absolutely butt wild, no pun intended, to buy as much toilet paper as they can have. I mean, now next week or a couple of days from now, another truck is going to arrive with more toilet paper. It's going to happen. We're not dying off in the masses here, folks. That's not what this is all about.
No. And if you want barely used toilet paper, just contact Tommy Highway. He's got a whole bunch to spare.
Lightly, nose only blown on it one time, you'll be fine. I'm not infected, so there's no problem there.
Yeah. Or if you want a different color toilet paper, we can guarantee that as well. Anyways, all I can say is it's been blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Sorry on the pun there. And I'm not taking this sitting down. I'm not. So you got to, well, actually I am. I forgot I am sitting down. Oh, sorry about that. Well, anyways, I guess I am taking it sitting down.
Hey.
But all I know is that we want to make sure that people know that, yes, the coronavirus is a very contagious virus. It is spreading in the United States and worldwide. There are measures being taken to prevent its spread and to contain the virus. When that is, no one knows.
We're shutting down all non-essential functions basically in this country for a month.
I just got a notice today that all the public schools in Minnesota, where I live, are shut down till March 27th. That's every single public school, elementary and high school. That's all their sporting events, everything gone. Now, if you think about that, along with the pro baseball season, the pro hockey season, and the pro basketball season completely gone over.
Yep.
That's just amazing. I've never seen that in my lifetime, ever.
No, me neither. Never.
I remember the gas lines in the 70s.
Yep, me too.
Where people were parking for blocks and waiting for hours just to get some gas in their car.
Took you half a tank to get up to the pump.
Right. And the thing is I've never, ever, ever seen a run on stores like this. And I've never seen people go bat, if you pardon the expression, batshit crazy over what's going on. People need to breathe and calm down.
Yeah. Like I
then
said,
you'll be able to think things out and then go to the right authorities to get the correct information.
Yeah. Like I say,
the CDC.
I've been through five hurricanes in my life. Okay. I've seen runs on stores that were a little disturbing, I guess. But I mean, it was what it was. Trucks couldn't get into the area, okay, because of the devastation. So, I mean, and again, then you still had all the rest of the stuff that you would normally have. There were just a few items that were not available. This is absolutely countrywide. It's out of control. And all it is media hype between social media, showing us all these horror stories from Australia and all that, people fighting in the streets and whatnot over toilet paper, to our own government. And like I say, how can we trust our own government when they put up a relief bill for, a major national incident like this disease, and they want to put abortion funding in there? I mean, what the hell is going on here? That's absolutely insane. But that's what happened, and that's what the Democrats have done here. And again, I used to be one of them, but not anymore. But my point being is that, look, sit tight, relax. This week, the stores will be completely restocked again. Those trucks are going from the manufacturer to the distribution center, and they're leaving the distribution center to a store near you. And those truck drivers, they don't give a shit about coronavirus. My dad's a trucker. Trust me, they don't care about that crap. They will get the product there. You will have the product. It will be available. Don't panic. Dan, did I just see you waste toilet paper?
Yeah. I was just wasting about $150,000 worth.
He's a rich man. See, that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm a self-made toilet paper magnet.
Tycoon, dude.
Yep, tycoon. Yep. I've got this is worth $140 to DB Cooper. I've got, let's see, 4 rolls here times 140. That's 400. That's $560 right here. $560. And I've got this here. This is a freebie. I'm sorry, I had to kind of scratch
and dent. No problem there.
But all I know is this: we can sit here and make fun of toilet paper and people going crazy, and like I've been doing, and like Tommy's been doing. But you got to know that we care. We do care.
Yeah, we do.
We don't want people to get sick. And I actually am a high-risk person because I have an illness, 2 illnesses that make me high risk. So I am concerned about myself, but I'm also concerned about my friends here where I live and across the world. Tommy and everybody out there in the chat and everyone. We don't want to see any of you get sick or even die from this. So do the preventative measures. Just don't go crazy.
Yeah, there's no reason to panic at this point. We're not looking at a mass killer. Okay. I mean, the chances are, if you get the coronavirus, that what do they call it, the COVID-19, if you actually come down with that, everybody that I've seen interviewed that actually survived it, they came out old and young. They said, it's no big deal. I've had worse. Okay. They keep saying that. So it's not like something that, this is not the bubonic plague of the 21st century. It's not all that. So I understand that at this point, so many people get hyped up and they go out and do this big power buy, this panic buy, right? That the people that are reasonable, that know that this is it's going to come and go like anything else. But then they feel like, oh my God, I have to go out and I have to do a power buy as well, because if I don't, I won't get, the supplies that I need.
Yeah, I won't have the supplies I need.
Right.
Paranormal Underworld said, here it goes way beyond toilet paper being sold out. If one goes to Walmart or similar store, lots of aisles completely wiped out.
Right.
It's insane. Yes, you're right, Paranormal Underworld. It is like that here too. A couple of the local stores here, like Hy-Vee, for instance, I was telling Tommy earlier that the store was completely wiped out of fruit and vegetables, fresh meat, and canned goods are all gone. So yeah, it's really, really kind of scary sometimes to see all that happen. And if you're unprepared, I would understand why you're scared. But find somewhere where you can get some help and some assistance, so that you're not left unprepared.
The panic of this is more contagious than the actual disease itself. I mean, it really is. And frankly, at this point, the panic that this disease has induced is probably going to be more harmful to all of us in terms of economically and all of that than the disease ever will be. So, and to say that we call it the Wuhan virus because it originated in Wuhan, China, is racist. That just shows you everything, tells you rather everything that you need to know about what's wrong with our society.
And about the Chinese, because it's the Chinese that are blaming the United States.
And they said on it.
They're saying that the Wuhan virus was deliberately caused by the United States.
Bioweapon.
Yeah.
You know, we
delivered right after Trump was in China doing that trade deal.
Yeah. So he must have dumped it out of his pocket.
Right. They're trying to say that's what happened.
Right. Yep. Because that's the only way that they can save face to their own people. I mean, if the COVID-19 coronavirus, if that thing is a bioweapon, it's a really shitty bioweapon, okay? Because it's not killing or even really incapacitating people for more than a few days, okay? I mean, it's not a mass killer. In terms of biological weapons, there are much better things out there that could have been used as a bioweapon. This is something that they concocted because they're eating weird shit as usual over there. And just like the SARS thing about 10 years ago or so, they kept their mouths shut because their national pride, because their secretive nature, tomato, whatever. But that's what's happened here. They kept their mouths shut until they couldn't contain it anymore. And then they said, now we got a problem. Okay. I mean, it's a typical Chinese. We need to learn how to live without China. We need to, and I mean, not just as a country, I mean, as a world, Europe, all the Eastern Bloc countries, all of those places, we need to go ahead and say, you know what, China, since you don't want to get with the program, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do business among ourselves, and the hell with you. And let's break China. And if they want to go to war, then I guess that's what happens. But damn, I'd rather go to war with them than have them kill me with a disease.
Yeah. DB Cooper was saying social media does fuel all this madness. Yes, it does.
Sure does.
When people sit there and chit chat and chit chat and chit chat and chit chat and talk and talk and talk and talk, then different ideas that could be wrong get twisted and spread. Well, and that's where the fuel comes from.
The human race has always been a rumor mill. I mean, think about the Salem witch trials back in the day. All that shit was absolutely rumor and innuendo right there. And here we are again, only now we can just go ahead and do that. When we scream witch, we can scream witch to 1.2 million people, not just the village. Okay. Right. And that's what's going on here.
Right. And so everybody is just overreacting. Red Baron says the local Costco here in Oregon was completely out of every type of egg. Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know about the eggs.
Well, I was having a hard time. I've got some powdered milk,
right?
But
I understand.
I'd like to have a little bit more of it, and it's unattainable right now. And again, like I said before, the powdered milk factory is not shut down. I promise you that the powdered milk factory is probably running at 125% capacity at 3 shifts right now. Okay. So, I mean, again, it's coming. It will be I'd say within a week or so, we're going to see shelves stocked again, because the fact of the matter is we can only buy so much stuff. We only have so much money and only have so much room to store it. So hopefully the great toilet paper scare of 2020 is coming to an abrupt close. But I'll tell you this much. If you want to see what Bernie Sanders America would look like, it looks just like this. Empty shelves.
Or worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he'd be driving away in a Maserati.
Yep.
With his 4 mansions while you're trying to get food from an empty shelf.
Bingo.
Anyways, Paranormal Underworld was saying, remember I said to you, how do we know that China's government didn't release this purposely? Not saying that it was what happened. Yes, Jax, I would say that I have no idea whether Chinese purposely released it, but I wouldn't put it past them, because they did have a bioweapons laboratory that wasn't too far from Wuhan.
Yeah, 20
province.
minutes.
And what I want to say about that is if they were to test the coronavirus as a bioweapon, what better way than to release it in a wet market? Wet market meaning a live animal market where they sell fresh meat outdoors. Then they can blame it on the wet market, right? And that's what they did originally.
I don't know. I don't see releasing a bioweapon on your own people when, if you wanted to test it, there are plenty of islanders and, smaller areas that you could have tested it in.
I have to say this about that. China said back in the 1980s that they had so many people that if they had to test a nuclear weapon above ground and it wiped out 1/3 of their population, they would get over it because they've got many, many, many more people to fill in the gap. They said that when I was in the service, and I heard that. And I kept that in the back of my mind during this coronavirus, because it's like, if they were willing to sacrifice 1/3 of their population, then I wouldn't put it past them to deliberately deliver the coronavirus as a test. But I do not have information indicating that. So do not think that they did it on purpose. We don't know.
I mean, it's anything is possible. Don't get me wrong, but it just seems to be the dietary choices, in my opinion, that they're making over there.
Dietary choices, yeah.
Like SARS was. They were eating that weird looking animal, cat looking thing. I mean, you see something that should be purring on your lap, don't eat it. Okay,
yeah,
I mean,
cat, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, there's no reason to eat the things that they're eating over there. But I think that to the bigger point is that when they realize that they have an epidemic on their hands, not to keep their mouth shut and actually, inform the world that this is an issue. Because if they had come out right away, because it's said that they may have known that they've had this for up to 6 months. But if they'd come out right away and say, hey, we got a problem here, the WHO, the World Health Organization and all that, every other country could have sent people in there, could have quarantined it, could have actually curbed the spread of the virus. But they didn't do that because they're China.
Right.
So again, if we're going to do anything, if this has taught us anything as a people at this point, we need to understand that we need to learn how to live in a world without so much Chinese influence, especially over our drug production. I mean, especially over that.
China, but Japan as well. We need to be independent.
Right. And that we need to be able to keep our, like medical masks. We're having a hard time making medical masks here because we buy them from places like South Korea, China, and Germany. And it's like we don't even make that product here. Okay. Now, I understand that it's not a high-paying job. It's not a glamorous job to make those masks or whatever, but that's a capability that we need to bring back into our country. That way, when shit does hit the fan, like right now, whether it's warranted or not, we have the ability to respond as a people. Or am I just crazy?
No, you're not crazy. We all are. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah. Earlier, Tommy wanted me to call him the pimp of toilet paper, so
I am the pimp.
He's the pimp of toilet paper, so he's going to show you his toilet paper entourage.
This is just part of the stash right here. Now it's all in the safe. So if y'all think about coming over here jacking old Tommy for the shit paper, I don't think so, baby. I'm just saying. I bought 2 packs of these, the stuff right here. And this is enough toilet paper to last me for 3 months. And if after 3 months, you know, at this point, after 3 months, if I'm out and we still don't have a normal flow of toilet paper, at that point, I'll worry about it. But I don't think that's going to be the case because, again, those trucks are running. My dad's a trucker. Those trucks are going to be running. They're going to be running tomorrow morning, and we're going to restock the stores.
Jack says, Paranormal Underworld says, we make masks here. His old employer made them.
I mean, there may be some places that make them, but I mean, by and large, they're talking about just not even that, but I mean, like medical gowns and things like that. We're getting that crap from overseas. And, you know, these are things that when we need them, we need them. That when the Chinese people need them, they're going to use those supplies, but we need to have those here and ready for us. That's my point.
Right. David Cooper was saying that in regards to nuclear capable countries that are known, there were over 2,000 known nuclear tests done, and that's just the known ones. Yeah, that's probably just the ones above ground too. There were a lot of them done underground.
Well, you got Bikini Atoll, you got, you know, all kinds, and they say that's leaking right now. That's leaking into the food chain. Nobody seems to be concerned about that, you know.
And what about Fukushima? They don't talk about that much anymore.
No, they're dumping that water. They're dumping that wastewater into the ocean now. That irradiated wastewater, and that's going into the food chain. I'm almost afraid of sushi at this point. That a goddamn Geiger counter with me.
Yeah, you cannot eat tuna out of the ocean. I think that's the Pacific, correct? Can't eat tuna out of the Pacific Ocean anymore because if you do, it could be irradiated. So you got to be very, very careful.
I don't trust our testing procedures on that at all. I don't trust it as far as I could throw it because again, U.S. government's involved in it. So why the hell would I trust it?
Well, my brother was going to go buy a new Toyota over at the Toyota dealer. And he's smart. He took a Geiger counter with him. He did. And he tested the car. He ran it alongside the car. Okay. And it went off. It went off scale.
Wow.
Because the car that he was looking at was exclusively built and manufactured in Japan. It wasn't made in the United States. Now, there are a lot of Toyotas that are made in the U.S.
Sure.
But then again, they get a lot of parts that are made in Japan. So they carry radiation from Fukushima if they're developed anywhere near Fukushima.
Yeah.
So
well, it's just another one of man's big screw ups and big cover ups. I mean, that's what that's all about. And you know, and you're right, to Tim's point, they are downplaying the Fukushima thing and all that. But that's just one more of mankind's screw ups that we're all going to deal with, and our children are going to deal with, and our grandchildren. And further on down the line are going to have to deal with. But, you know, back to what's going on here. I mean, I guess to kind of bring it home here a little bit, don't panic. You know, go out and buy what you need. You're going to be able to get more of it tomorrow. It's not going to go anywhere.
Settle down, breathe, calm down. Realize that there are people out there that are going through the same thing you are.
Yeah, everybody. And instead of
the same way, we're thinking, God, why are we going so crazy?
Yeah, we're not pulling together as a team here, not by a long shot. And we would have done that 4 or 5 years ago, even under Obama. So something's happened here to our society that's causing us to our mentality is no longer about our fellow American. It's about our own ass. Okay.
Exactly.
And if this whole experience hasn't taught us anything, it should teach us that. When you look at people buying, 4 shopping carts of toilet paper, I mean, come on. They don't give a shit about you, me, or anybody else. Only thing they're worried about is their own ass, literally.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
No, I'm not going to take a swipe at that one.
Like, I don't mean to wipe this thing north to south or south to north, but yeah, I mean, and that's the bottom line here. But again,
I've got to say, we did get to the seat of the problem.
Yeah, really. So at the end of the day, like I say, guys, don't panic, don't freak out. Everything is going to be fine. This is not a mass killer. This is not Stephen King's The Stand. Don't start quoting Bible verses and all that business.
But we don't know for certain. So be prepared. Do the preventative measures.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands a lot.
Yeah.
And make sure you have that hand soap with you.
Yeah, if you can
go
find
out and take some with you, because you never know what you're going to touch. You don't know if somebody else who's infected may have touched it.
Right, exactly. And and like in my state there, I think there are 33 cases or something, and there'll be more. And I'm quite certain that there are a lot more cases out there that will ever be diagnosed. Now, I will tell you folks this, and this is something I'm going to share with you. It's kind of personal, okay? I don't know. On Friday, all of a sudden I woke up, I logged into work. About an hour later, about 9:30 in the morning, I came down with an excruciating, mind-boggling headache. I don't get headaches. I just don't get headaches. But it was excruciating. It was really bad. I had a fever, and I was miserable all day until about 7 in the evening. And all of a sudden, it just stopped, and I felt great again. So I don't know. I don't know what that was, but I'm just saying that's unusual for me to get a headache like that. It's almost unheard of. Last time I got a headache like that, I got quarantined in Dallas.
Wow.
I've been quarantined, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah. Well, currently I live in a facility where I am under what they call a self-isolation quarantine until March 27th. I can't go anywhere except to the doctor. I can't go to stores because of exposure. And people will have to go to the store for me if I need anything. So you can expect to see more of me. I'll be doing more streaming.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing some streaming for sure. That's the thing. I mean, you have to understand that the country is probably going to be, for all intents and purposes, shut down for 30 to 45 days. And if they're going to do that because they're going to try to weed out the incubation process or time frame of this particular disease. So, I mean, like I say, just go out and get what you need, live your life. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, this is not nuclear war. This is not a mass killer. 8 out of 10 people that get this are not going to die. In fact, 1 out of 10 probably aren't going to die. So you have to look at it. You have to put things into perspective. But anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it at this point, folks. I appreciate
before you wrap it, I have to point out a comment in the chat room. Mr. DB Cooper said, I think Amazon is putting a stop to all the price gouging people were trying to do with sanitizer and toilet paper. People were trying to retire off toilet paper. Yes. Yeah. That's why we were making the joke about how much toilet paper is.
All the opportunism involved. And that's got to be what these rednecks that you see in Costco or whatever that have 4 carts of toilet paper are thinking, because this guy's not going to shit that much until for the rest of his life. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, they're selling it somewhere.
Right. Is he thinking about a barter system or whatever? And again, in a situation like this, in a panic type of pandemic, I just think that's so un-American. I just really do. Get what you need and get a little extra and just go on with your friggin' life,
And if you can help those who don't have anything,
sure,
don't have any toilet paper, don't have any sanitizer, and you have a little extra to spare, lend a hand.
Help out your neighbors, of course.
That is American.
That's American. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and call it, I think. Tim, I really thank you for coming over, folks. You're out there watching this. Go ahead and do me a big favor. Go out there to UFO Man channel over on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Please hit the sub button for me, the subscription button for me as well at Tommy Highway TV. We really appreciate that. Thanks for coming by and putting up with us. And I guess for me, I'm out. And Tim?
Yeah, I'm out too.
All right, folks. Be careful. Use reasonable precautions. Wash your hands and just use your head. Use your head. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. And like I said, free toilet paper. No, just kidding. Anyways, y'all have a good one.